From Sunday, it will be illegal for businesses to sell or supply disposable vapes, whether that's in shops or online. It means that the only vaping products it'll be legal to sell are ones that are refillable and rechargeable. The government hopes the ban will reduce environmental damage they say is caused by the devices and cut the number of children and young people vaping. Let's speak to Marcus Saxton, Chief Executive of the Totally Wicked Group and Chairman of the Independent British Vape Trade Association. Marcus, great to have you back on Wake Up to Money. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Will. Good morning.
How much impact is the sort of impending ban? How much has it had on the industry already?
Well, certainly we've known it's been coming for around about a year. The date was specifically confirmed 6 months ago, and the focus has been, as you said in your introduction there, on ensuring that inventory levels of businesses is being run down such that they don't have to. Cometh Sunday is actually their responsibilities to take them off sale, seal them up, not for resale, and send them back for responsible recycling. So they want to ensure that they don't have any exposure left.
What have you been seeing? I know this is necessarily your the direct impact to you guys, but what are you seeing in terms of consumer behaviour? Because wherever it's been hot around the UK, hasn't it? So you see lots of people out and about, perhaps having a drink outside a pub or whatever after work.
Yes.
There still seems to be an awful lot of disposable vapes out and about being used. It doesn't look to me, just sort of anecdotally, that consumers have particularly shifted their behaviour yet.
In some cases, yes, independent vape stores have the education and advice compared to a supermarket, convenience store to help people to make the switch and have been doing. But you're right, across convenience and supermarkets, they are clearly very, very popular still. And therefore, come Sunday, we've got to ensure that consumers are aware there are alternatives for them.
Presumably now as well that everything's being funneled to one place. Does that have an impact on prices potentially for people? Is it going to get more expensive?
Not particularly. In fact, perversely, the good news for consumers is there are rechargeable and refillable alternatives looking very similar to the previous single use that they used and at the same price. That's the good news. They've just got to go and seek them out.
Yeah, because that's a big part of it, isn't it? How they look, actually.
Yeah, in part. I mean, it's more the convenience and the consistency of delivery is what the single use has done. And for people that class themselves as social smokers on a night out, have been able to pick one of these up relatively low cost rather than using cigarettes and combustibles.
Yeah, and that kind of, I mean, we have it with all products, not just with vapes, is it? I'm sure there's plenty of refillable things in your house. It's sometimes going, oh God, I haven't got any more of that. I can't be bothered to go out and get it, or I can't be bothered to reorder it as well. So do you think online is going to become a bigger part of what you guys do across the group, for example?
Online has certainly always been very, very big. There's certainly going to be a greater range of available products and sustainable alternatives that will be online, so potentially even further. We haven't seen it yet, but undoubtedly that will be where consumers can go to.
And the government, in part, they're talking about the kind of the plastic damage, the waste damage in particular about this, but they have as well, haven't they, in the debate around this, been concerned that younger people are using these vapes. Is a perhaps unintended consequence of what's happening at the weekend, though, do you think, or perhaps fear, Marcus, that it might drive people back to buying cigarettes because those will be being sold in convenience stores, garages, petrol stations, supermarkets still?
You've got it, Will. Yes, and that is the risk. Don't want to scaremonger, but it is certainly, there's various bits of research that have been done that those social smokers that would have just grabbed one of these single-use products actually, therefore, won't be as planned, as you say, to go in and buy a refillable, and therefore the risk is that they could return to smoking, which is a tragedy.
So what is the kind of answer to that, do you think?
Well, it's illegal today, as we've often spoke about, to sell to minors under 18. All of the legitimate professional businesses will have educating protocols that are really strict in place, and it's those retailers that haven't done that today, let alone tomorrow when this ban comes into effect. So there's a series of other bits of legislation that are carry on being debated, tax stamps, should packaging change, and so on. But we've got to ensure baby isn't thrown out with the bathwater and ensure we balance this, which is it's about adult smokers, ensure retailers aren't selling to them, but equally let's not make them too attractive to use as well.
I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you sound like you are concerned by that you think that might well be something that happened certainly in the early days of this.
Insofar as still selling to youths, you mean, or people reverting
more
to smoking?
people going back to just buying cigarettes.
Yeah, I mean, as you said in your narrative there, it's people are funny fish, and therefore their habits are pretty simple. Yeah. And if they can't get something relatively easily, then believe it or not, it's pretty easy to ask for your favourite packet of cigarettes these days. And therefore that's the risk that they may do so. Well,
look, come back on the programme again, Marcus. We always appreciate having you on. And come back on in a couple of weeks' time or whatever, and let us know how it's going after this comes into force, and tell us what you're seeing. Marcus, thanks so much for your time. Marcus Saxton there, the Chief Executive of the Totally Wicked Group and Chairman of the Independent British Vape Association.